stream. What is up, bitches? It has been a little bit, not too much. Oh, I still gotta get the, I have the copy of the protest. I just gotta edit it and upload it. What is it called this? There we go. What's the focus gonna be? Yeah. That. Switch to this. Book. Let me... Stories, balancing act. Miscellaneous. Yeah. Sorry about that. I think I broke the thing a little bit. Accidentally exited out of the window when I shouldn't have. Going to prevent future injury to the stream, I will minimize this window. All right. What are we focusing on tonight? I think I'm going to cover the manipulation tactics. In many ways, I could use exaggeration, but I'm trying to think of like different scenarios that it would be used in. By the way, who do we have going live today? So I should probably... Oh, we got Marilyn. Marilyn is live tonight. I'm gonna go drop by. I'm gonna hop out of the stream. Hello to whoever is viewing right now. Feel free to throw something in the chat. Again, I'd love to see who I'm talking to. Hey, Judy. It's good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. I should put on some of the lo-fi. Not lo-fi, but I want non-copyrighted. There's a playlist. I can't wait to see your next project. I'm sure it looks awesome. Hey, someone else showed up. Whoever you are, welcome. Feels nice doing a nighttime live stream. Intrusions, soliciting pity, minimizing with the lesser of two evils. Turn the lo-fi down a little bit. Exaggeration, isolation. Okay, that one I want to work on. I mean, yeah, isolation's actually going to start early on. It's going to be more early, but then it's just going to be self-enforced. Could please look. Checking my email now. I have received your email. I'm clicking it. Ooh! Oh, that is gonna look sick! Oh, I love mandalas, and to see that as a diamond painting, oh, I have to see it when it's done. That looks awesome. I love it. I love it already. Okay. Early implantation. So as to be habitual later. Wearing down in what capacity? Oh, let me check the close-up. Ooh. I see it. Looks really good. Yeah. No, it looks good, and I can't wait to see it when you finish making it. I don't care if the FC has, like, fucking 2 games left. Yeah, no, your team sucked. Carmen, the new stadium for the FC is opening in spring 2025.
What is it? What?
Hang on. Okay, there we go. I am back. Turn that up a little bit and then turn that down, and we are good. I actually shouldn't have said Vivian in that. Well, it's close enough. I'm getting to her personality later. I'm working on manipulation tactics and how I want them to be executed. So, for example, let me talk about the intrusions category. So, you've got starting off subtle, maybe a few times a week. That's at the very beginning. It's going to get pretty constant somewhat fast. You got almost daily after that point, and then almost constantly. But I don't think I'm going to get up to... It's not going to be almost constantly. It's just going to be a little less. So I got mental intrusions, which can include personal decisions. I've got thoughts and opinions inserted. Relationships and social interactions. Personal obligations. And during relaxing moments. So then you got the physical intrusions, which are tactile manifestations and brief periods of lack of vocal and physical control, which may evolve over time. I have visual, which is related to stalking and blending in with surroundings, so that's going to happen early on. Oh, you like the interview? I liked it too. I think I personally could have done better. Holy Rogue did absolutely great. But I do appreciate the depth that Natalie went to in her interview with Holy Rogue. It was... I had thought to myself, why didn't I ask some of those questions? Yeah, no, she got into the nitty-gritty, and that's very respectable. I don't know, it's just... It's not because of any particular part of the video, it's just... normal hating myself, I guess would be the best way to describe it. Self-criticism. And just automatically being my own worst enemy. Alright, so what did I have? I had visual, so that does not need to go into mental. Shit. Manipulation, personal decisions. Wait, those come with ridicule. Ridicule if not followed. Yeah, I like that. We're gonna keep personal decisions. But I don't think they're gonna show up immediately. Not immediately. But relatively soon after. After early post revelation. Not within, I'm not gonna say immediately, not within the first week or so. No, definitely after the first month. Because we'll see what damage she can do in a month. You don't interview every day, everyone will second. I know. There is an interview that's unedited, unuploaded, because I absolutely felt so awkward doing it. For me, I find it very difficult to give interviews to to never-ins, Scientologists. I'm sorry, you can't say never-in Scientologists. To never-in people. One example would be my interview that I did with Josie. She was a protester back from 2008 during Operation Chinology. But for me, it's very tough. It was very tough to go into personal life stuff. Just due to the fact that we didn't necessarily... I mean, I was able to go into personal stuff, like about her main life and stuff, and what she was doing. But I feel bad saying it, but as a person, I find it harder to get conversation going when it's not completely related to my hyperfixations. It's tough to talk about the tech or any of that stuff or the policy or whatever because that's what I want to talk about, and it's not something that the other person knows much about. Yeah, it just makes it more difficult. I do need to get better with public speaking and conversation. I mean, I'm fine. I do okay. But I always feel like I could be better. Hello, the Oreo Ritz. I like your name. Hello, Geek. It's so cool to see you live stream. Saw your video on your collections. I don't know which video you saw, so you might have to be a little more specific. I currently have over 200. So just let me know what video you saw me in. I'd love to know. I'd love to know what traffic drove you here. Okay, so many good ones. Well, I appreciate it. Was it a live or was it a pre-made? Pre-made. Okay, so it must have been one of the research videos. Probably if I was to guess, probably a read and react. Or maybe one of my old interviews, or maybe the bot thing I did with Natalie. I'm not sure. It could have been fucking anything. Oh, Streets LA got you into this. Well, welcome to the rabbit hole. You're gonna be here a while. And I can just pull you down even fucking farther. Hello to Degraded Daughter. Welcome. Good to see you. Then Jessica Palmades. Yep, Confident Chris. JDSA. And Cubs Champion 16. Yeah. I still gotta meet up with Cubs Champion. I met up with Manning 8 this past weekend in New Haven. And I did what I did last time and basically yelled out contradictions and questions that the staff were refusing to confront about. So they didn't seem to have their TRs in. Yep, Tori Magoo. Well, either way, I want to thank you for joining the niche group of people that are into this. But anyway, alright. Manning hate always eating. Alright, what do we got here? So, for context, I'm writing a fiction book, and I'm working on the list of potential manipulation tactics for one of the characters. So, got visual manifestations, hallucinations on changing the appearance of things. So I gotta say visual distortions and alterations. Okay. Got off cup streaming to finish live stream early data back. Oh, gotcha. Oh shit. Speaking of, thanks for reminding me. I gotta charge my battery brick. It's at 30%. So. I know Cubs is there almost, what, every day? That's real dedication. And I appreciate what he does. Oh, by the way, Carmen.
What?
You remember Suitcase Murder Lady?
Yep.
She got offered a plea deal of 15 years.
Jeez.
She rejected it.
Idiot.
She is a fucking idiot. She's gonna spend the rest of her life in fucking prison. Now her minimum is 22. Oh my god. Oh, it's by Bruce Rivers, the criminal lawyer. I'm gonna watch that later. He's a really cool creator. I love how you're listing it out and expanding separately. Oh, he had a threat from one of the org members. Death. Oh, God. Did they figure out who in the org gave the threat? And did that person get arrested for the threat? I love how you're listing it out and expanding separately. Yep. Doing it this way helps me to think of different scenarios that it may be used. Alright, so we had stalking and blending of the surroundings. That's going to be early on after realizations. Visual manifestations are going to happen all the fucking time anyway. So I'll say... Now, visual manifestations has to have a subcategory. So, visual distortions and alterations. Wait, no, visual manifestations is the entire fucking category. Okay, so I already said that. Stalking, blending of their surroundings, visual distortions and alterations. We also had conversation. Conversation and general appearances. Might be later after realization. No. Slightly later than early. What topic we in? Alright, hang on. He was live streaming and he was confronted. Hope he'll be alright. What topic we in? Okay, the Oreo Ritz. Writing a book. I have a character. Her name is Vivian Morris. And she is the manipulative type character. So what I'm doing is I learned about a bunch of manipulation tactics from domestic abusers as well as cult leaders. And I was able to go through them, pick out the ones that I feel fit her description best, as well as points from the Subjective Effect Index, which is a website to scientifically describe as best as possible the mental, physical, and just whatever effects of various psychoactive substances. So, like, for example, if you think of someone who takes hallucinogens, they're gonna see colors, they're gonna see swirling, they're gonna see shapes, they're gonna see patterns, all this stuff. So I took these different types of symptoms, plucked them as to how I thought they'd be necessary with Jordan's condition, and put them into this list. So I'm currently going through the different ones, trying to come up with any subcategories that may need to be done, and trying to figure out what other ways these different tactics can be used. So, for example, let me skip ahead to... So there's a point where Jordan realizes the main plot point, what turns the main plot point of the story. And this is when she really starts going in with the manipulation. Starts going in. We have some of the above-mentioned intrusions. So, in this case, it's going to be personal obligations, so school and work. We're going to have some stuff with social gatherings. We're going to have visual hallucinations. and we're going to have a lot of mental stuff. So, say, again, personal obligations, so school, work, and mundane tasks. Personal decisions, so she's going to start inserting her opinions and trying to get him to make specific decisions when it comes to things like, say, food or what he should be doing or stuff like that. Possibly followed by ridicule. I did use AI for some of the brainstorming, I will admit it, but it was mainly for me to try and find, based on the type of personality that I wrote, and a list of some manipulation tactics that I wasn't sure about including. I was asking for opinions as to what may be better to include in some different stages of the story. I have not used this to write my story. I have not used this to do much of the planning work. If anything, I just ask for minor questions just to try to get the creativity ball rolling, based on what it already knows and what I've already given it. So anyway, this is early post-revelation. In the intrusions, we have soliciting pity and playing the victim based on the circumstances. There's a reason she does that. Minimizing with the lesser of two evils. I got exaggeration, isolation to be implanted early on so as to become habitual later. So by investing time in it, he'll just get used to it. Wearing down, comparing, lying, gaslighting, and shifting blame. Dehumanizing. So stuff to break down his spirit. New location, new city, new town. I mean, I've already got my location. It's a made-up city in Illinois called Peralla. Peralla. And then I've got, what else? I've got negative predictions. So examples are, if you keep this up, you're going to regret it. Or someday you'll realize I'm the only one who understands you. Projecting. Information control, which can occur via altering his perceptions. One example that I thought of with cybersecurity, since I used to be a cybersecurity major, was looking at a web page. And because I'm throwing that part into Jordan, he's going to be a cybersecurity major, just to kind of help with a specific part of the story. So, for example, he's looking at a web page about encryption and cybersecurity, but I want that to be manipulated in such a way so that it's almost as if the article will speak more to him. The article will seem to have those little woven bits of Vivian's dialogue. Yep, I've got some group gathering stuff. There are going to be new friends. There's going to be a shit ton of hard times and a few good ones. Some of the good ones are going to come from bad ones. I love you too. So, Judy, I have thought about that. I've been putting more focus on the mental side of it for now. I need to expand upon that point. And in that case, though, I'm thinking about it. It's like, so let's say Jordan does meet somebody. Jordan meets some woman in a bar or whatever the fuck he meets her at. Vivian gets definitely having to have a level of jealousy if that happens. And it could result in a dissociative episode, a blackout. So let's say, instead of him trying to get lucky, she physically stops him. Oh yeah, I never told you about the webpage thing. So you got the idea for the webpage thing, but the quote that I wrote as just a little example is, in the end, the most sophisticated system can still fall prey to an insider threat, one that knows all too well how to exploit vulnerabilities. So like I said, it's going to seem like it's sort of hinting at him. Full horror like Dahmer? No, not Dahmer style. Jesus fuck. This isn't gonna be a physical horror thing. Well, a little bit of body horror, I guess, but not to a really bad degree. No, it's not gonna be full horror. It's gonna be more psychological. It's gonna be dealing with a lot of abusive, manipulative, and traumatic things. So it's gonna be more about mental health. But there will be some inclusions. I have emotional blackmail. So there's an example that I thought of where basically if Jordan doesn't comply, Vivian will leak information about sensitive subjects to him. About sensitive subjects of his to the public. So, like, maybe his family or his friends or whatever. Ooh. Hang on. I kind of like that. Okay. Hold up. FLDS remote area? What? This isn't like the fundamentalist Latter-day Saints. What do you mean remote area? It's just gonna be a dude going to college. He's just kind of an ordinary guy. He's not anything fucking special. Basically gonna be like normal day America, boring bullshit. Because I didn't really want to have to put too much effort into the fucking world building. Figured I'd just use what I know to start with, because this is my first time even writing a real book. Okay, so I've got that. So now this next section that I'm going to get into is called Later, Post-Revelation. So this is after this early stage. This section occurs after Jordan starts taking psychiatric medications, because Vivian is going to be taking this as an attack on her own existence and her own life. So she's going to hold back. But it's basically more like the tide receding to contribute to a tsunami. Tide's going to recede, but only to come back later and attack. So this is when he's more compliant. He's been more conditioned. It's going to be less difficult for her to do what she wants to do and get him to act the way she wants him to. So in this case, he is hallucinating. But Vivian has previously died. Vivian, this is the weird part of the story, and I hate writing this kind of basic, generic shit. Vivian dies, donates body to science, and the company that she donated it to, who's doing research on genetic stuff, used some of her genes in the medical trial that Jordan took part in. So that's how I'm going to say the consciousness kind of gets started. But anyway, so for the later post-revelation, in some moments, he is. Yeah, he's gonna be trapped in quite a few. So we have countering, conversation blocking or conversation dominance, time dominance. This could... Ooh, can I fuck with his sense of time? No, or should that be early on? Time dilation. Time dominance. What did I mean when I put that originally? I'm gonna put a question mark. I have no idea what the fuck that means. Backhanded compliments. Well, I'm gonna copy this. Backhanded compliments can go in the first one too. I mean, could be confused where he's at currently. So you're thinking more like disorientation. Because there are dissociative periods where he comes to and doesn't realize where he is. I don't know if that's what you're referring to or if you're talking about just randomly becoming disoriented. It's so originally it's going to look like schizophrenia. The multiple personality shit isn't going to start until after he starts taking antipsychotics. Like I said, it's going to be Vivian's way of pulling back the tide, only to come back later with a tsunami.
Your favorite movies and TV shows are
In
on
ads.
YouTube. Enjoy the latest releases.
It's multiple personalities for a bit until she actually starts physically manifesting. So I have, what else did I have? Exaggeration. It's kind of vague and can go under a bunch of shit. Defining. So when someone defines internal realities, such as motives, needs, feelings, and even their very nature on their own terms. So this almost seems like rationalizing. Yeah, because then Jordan can take what Vivian causes him to experience and twist it himself. Gonna need to be conditioned. I have some episodes where he's belligerent due to emotional distress. Maybe. I'm not quite sure how he's gonna actually start seeing... Well, yeah, no, he's gonna be very belligerent to her at first. When he feels deceived. It's gonna be one of his initial emotions. He feels very deceived, very upset, very sad. Because this woman that he started to care for was never a real was a real person, but not at that point. I have correcting mixed with gaslighting. Image management. So Vivian's going to want to present a good image or tear his down. Originally friend, well, pseudo friend, and then later pseudo girlfriend, possibly. I'm not sure how far their relationship's gonna go because it's not gonna last very long. It's not gonna last for many chapters. I still have yet to plan out to write chapter 2, chapter 3. And I feel stuck. So what I'm trying to do is plan all this out just so I feel like I'm contributing to something. So you're presenting a good image or tearing his down. Friend with benefit, maybe. But I want that level of true emotional attachment to make it harder for him to want to let go. If he feels it's friends with benefits, then it's likely that he's going to be able to not take her as seriously, and her manipulation's not going to work as well. I feel that by having this pre-established fake connection, it's going to cause him to be more dependent, and it's going to cause him to not immediately want to get rid of her, or to try to get rid of her. I have black and white thinking, social circle manipulation, lying, isolation via addiction to her hallucinations as comfort and a sense of escapism, the silent treatment. So for one example, I have a clinging nag. Not to that extent. He's just going to be dealing with a lot of emotional trauma. He's not a simp, but he spent enough time around her before the realization to develop those feelings. Yeah, Judy, it's all about emotional attachment. It's not a seeming one-way street. She shows feelings back. He shows feelings to her. It's a way to get him more wrapped around her thumb. And it makes it easier for her to get her hooks into when his guard is let down. So, she pretends to leave at one point. She say they got into a really big argument. And she basically says something along the lines of, "You want me gone? Fine." And she goes. She just stays quiet. Sort of like she did with the psychiatric medications. But when she comes back, she's not going to attack harder. It's going to be easier. Because Jordan is going to go through a sort of twisted grief. Because he's gotten so used to this presence, so used to this friend and foe at the same time, that he may not be able to truly want to face life when she leaves, because the highs are high, the lows are lows. But he has a major accomplishment, but she wasn't there. You're referring to just like something that happens in his life. So like if he gets a promotion, or if he, I don't know, passes his finals, and she wasn't there. It all depends on what you mean by there. Because there could mean physically in the real world, mentally as a voice in his head. It could be a hallucination in his head, so he could be picturing his own like mental scene, mental landscape. Which ways is she not there? Oh, okay. All right, so let me think about it this way. Ooh, okay. Hold on. You got me thinking Oreo Ritz. So if she's not there, does that lead to a lack of validation and happiness? Where he feels that his accomplishments aren't going to mean as much? It's kind of like a body snatcher, but really, yeah, pretty much. I mean, she's. I guess she's mainly doing it because she's just afraid of dying again. She doesn't want to be fully extinguished. So she knows how important it is to keep her control on things and keep him alive. So that's the thing. She's gonna break him, but she can't break him to the point where he wants to end himself. Because then she knows that if he's gone, she's gone. He finished something, but she wasn't there for recognition. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The lack of validation and the lack of happiness in his accomplishments doesn't feel like he means that much. Because maybe Vivian will use these accomplishments as a sort of reward system, as a way to lead into the rewards and punishment system. That could work. That could really work. What else did I have here? Privacy invasion. Oh, so I have to put intrusions. See above intrusions. We still had the negative predictions. Conversation. I already have conversation dominance. Why do I have it twice? Gaslighting. Wait, what? Yeah, correcting mixed with gaslighting. That's already there. Public humiliation and shaming. So that can lead into the blackmail. So like if she takes over, then she may start revealing shit. Yeah, exactly. He becomes emotionally dependent. He becomes very emotionally dependent. And then shifting the blame, which I already had. Pretty sure where. Correcting gaslighting, shifting blame. And then I have miscellaneous tactics, which haven't been fully sorted or chosen. So public information sharing. So it could lead to that. I'm gonna hold that for that stage though, second stage. Oh yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I like it too. You got me thinking. I like that. Sarcasm, overprotection, making him wait for things. Show that she's in charge. If another character comes into play, yeah, possibly another romantic interest, or well, then if she felt jealousy at wait a minute. Hold up. Excuse me? Okay. Oh no, she'll definitely either she'll push harder with another chick or she'll try to get with the other chick. Because I'm pretty sure in this Vivian's gonna be bi or some version of pan, or just pan. There's no version of pan. It's pan. She's either gonna be bi or pan. which could also lead into the dynamic of manipulation. Huh. Okay. Jealousy of other potential love interests. Possible sabotage or redirect relationship. Okay. Got a slippery slope fallacy. Could be Jordan's reasoning when it comes to what Vivian does. It could be jumping to conclusions about what could happen. It can establish more fear and anxiety. Yeah, pan doesn't matter. The gender preference, the fuck? I'm trans. What the fuck is my fucking brain thinking of? Gender orientation or gender expression. This because the slippery slope could also lead Jordan to minimizing specific problems, even if they're more serious. It is a cliche. I appreciate it, but I'm sticking with what I got. I'm sticking with the death. Because then I'm thinking of having a possible emotional reunion between Vivian and her family. Once Jordan is finally comfortable with letting her forward. I've got unsolicited advice. Obviously ordering him around, condescension, undermining. Just enough, which is doing a small part of what you asked just before enforcing a consequence. So this could be done on Jordan's end in order to try and rebel against Vivian. Or it can be mixed with... There's something called false compromise. What is false compromise? Hang on. Okay. Figure that out later. Wait a minute. Pre-consensual decision making. So making decisions for him without any of his approval. I have U2ing, which is known as tu quoque. Suggesting you're just as guilty as they are. Projecting and hypocrisy, which has already been in there. Judging, which will go into the opinions and thoughts category. Shoulding, which also goes into the opinions and thoughts category. Guilt tripping. I'm bringing up past mistakes or abusing truisms. So using general statements that are hard to refute. So sort of thought-stopping cliches. Ooh. Or just general statements. So like everybody makes mistakes. Or say your parents are going through a hard time and are treating everyone poorly. You tell them how you feel about them treating you. And they say don't kick someone when they're down. Or say in response to abuse, everyone deserves a second chance. I do have types of suggestion and guidance. So self-confidence, coping strategies, study habits, career planning, interpersonal relationships, conflict resolution, new interest exploration, creative expressions, daily decisions, and life choices. So we got the rewards and punishment system. So for emotion, you get praise, affection, validation, any of the love bombing shit. and possibly inducing positive emotional states. Psychologically, I have manipulating his headspace. Maybe private time with her or private time without her, depending on the mood. And for punishment, I have withdrawal of emotional support. I have private time with or without her, based on the mood. More frequent interference in inconvenient moments. Takeovers. And then playing into his fears. Gaslighting, reality shaping, and induced hallucinations. Yes, you will get a signed copy. Hold on. Jordan's kind of... probably like... Vivian's more lower class... Not lower. What do I have as their parents' jobs? Give me a sec. Gotta check. Okay, Vivian Morris. Well, her father left when she was young. She was raised by a single mother. But they had a decent family. They weren't completely poor, but they were just comfortable enough to get by. Jordan is 21. Vivian is about 27, 28. Jordan is college economic status. She is older. She actually used to have her own psychology practice. She used to practice psychology, which is how she understood all these things of control and manipulation. What else did I have for manipulation? At denial, rewriting history, intruding thoughts, images, or desires, and then nightmares and dreams. So, for example, if, say, Jordan's parents know nothing about what's going on in the real world, Jordan has a nightmare about them possibly disowning him, arguing with each other. Just very unsettling, uncomfortable subjects. Or possibly viewing Vivian as a savior figure in order to be more compliant and be more willing to be under her thumb. We have hallucinations, so we have kinesthetic, altered gravitational perceptions. Proprioceptive, distorted body position senses, which could be related to dissociation. I haven't worked on Vivian's past relationships. But she did die of a stalker. I want to actually say it was a patient. Jordan is just getting over a tough breakup. Because his ex cheated. Vivian's main goal is to stay alive again. Is to be able to live out her life as much as she can at the expense of his. Because she doesn't want to risk fully going away. She's already died once. She doesn't want to do it again. She doesn't want to risk being forgotten. What did I have? Equilibrioceptive, so that was an altered sense of balance. Altered sense of temperature, maybe. Altered sense of time. I have internal body sensations, so breathing, heart racing, hunger, thirst. It's called interoceptive. She's not a gold digger. She doesn't care that much about money. She doesn't really bother her that much. She'll spend sometimes in her little impulsive moments, but he's not making much money anyway. He's working part-time at a fucking distribution center. And he's in college, so. Yeah, it's more control than money. So I got multisensory, which is just a bunch of different shit. False memories. Examples being flashes of Vivian's life and Vivian's memories in his head. Spontaneous tactile sensations. So, like, if they're interacting and she touches his shoulder or they hold hands or some shit like that. Whatever. Just a way to keep her more vivid. Gustatory, so hunger or appetite. I got visual, auditory, and olfactory. So, that's kind of it. I already got that. Why do I need this here? No, why did I say post-revelation? Fuck off. Already included the projection, the blame. This whole fucking thing is a poster. Don't need to say it. Alright, it's a little bit more of an updated list. What? Give a day job versus a night job. I want to get her one, but I'm also trying to be realistic with it. Because of the fact that he's not going to have her ID. And it's going to take a bit before they're actually able to reunite. So her having an ID is going to be out of the question for a little while. Yeah, inexperienced. A service dog. Oh my god, a takeover service dog. That'd be funny. But he's in college and can't take care of a dog right now. And he's too busy. He can't even fucking take care of himself. He's driving his dad's hand-me-down truck. Alright, give me a second, because I gotta hear something. Oh, I want to listen to Cult of the Lamb shit right now. Does this not... Is this part of the fucking playlist? What happened to the playlist? Hold on. Space Aquarium. Oh, that was the end of the playlist. Okay. Shit. Try this. Jordan is self-aware. I could add something about a family pet. Vivian's not ashamed. But she feels it could be improved upon. Jordan is self-aware. And yeah, Judy, pretty much. She wants to maintain control for as long as possible, and yeah. Depends on the risk. I'm trying to figure out more of Vivian's character. I've got more of Jordan's worked out than I do hers. I have more of her backstory and more of her manipulation. But I haven't thought quite about vices yet. It's a good question, though. You mean just letting her do what she wants? Give me a sec. Please hold. Oh. I'm back, motherfuckers. Hola. She has a vice to convince him if I take the proof of trust between them. I mean, he's gonna develop some vices of his own, considering the ways he's gonna try to cope. He's definitely gonna develop some kind of drug addiction. Drug or alcohol addiction. Or, again, just the addiction to the safety of her hallucinations. Vivian doesn't work right now. I don't have a plan. I am never in... I don't know if that question was directed toward Judy. So, that's the thing. I have a lot of things that she does, but I don't quite have the full reasoning. It's all just shit that came to mind. I'm thinking the main focus is that she doesn't want to die again. She only knows these tactics because of her time being a psychologist and studying. Yeah. I'm not feeling the music now. I think I'm gonna end this one early. I'll talk to all y'all later.